views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Good morning, everyone. I'm, as usual, very happy to see all of your faces. Pursuant to Chapter 4, Section 85 of the New York City Charter, a meeting of the Bronx Borough Service Cabinet will take place here Wednesday, May 2nd, starting at 9:23 at 851 Grand Concourse, Room 819. Again, thank you all for coming. For the record and purpose of introducing ourselves, can we just go around the room? I am Marika Scott McFadden. I am the Deputy Bronx Borough President. Thank you very much. Hold your applause.
Matthew Cruz, Community Board 10.
John Sanchez, District Manager, Bronx Community Board 6.
Aisha Rao, District Manager, Bronx Community Board 7.
Olga Luz Torado, the Executive Director of the Bronx Tourism Council.
Iris Rodriguez Rosa, Bronx Parks Commissioner.
Jeffrey Velasquez, representing the Council Member Vanessa Gibson's office.
George Torres, District Manager, Community Board 12.
In the back.
Project your voice for Brian Cornell in New York City Emergency Management.
Good morning, Captain Carter, New York City Transit.
Good morning, Captain Jeffrey Lucy, Bronx Parks Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
I'm Marisol Halpern, I'm the Director of Operations.
Without whom much of this would not happen. Thank you. Thank you, Marisol. So we're just gonna jump right in. Our first presenter is, we're gonna do a little swap on the agenda. So our first presenter will be a presentation by Olga Tirado, Executive Director, Bronx Tourism Council, and she will be speaking about the Bronx Week 2018.
Bronx Week 2018, it's that time of year again. It seems to go real fast. Seems like yesterday we were just talking about Bronx Week 2017. So Bronx Week begins officially next week. We have a press conference on Monday to announce this year's inductees to the Bronx Walk of Fame. In case some people don't know what the Bronx Walk of Fame is, you could just walk right outside this building on the Grand Concourse side and look up at the street lamps, and you'll see that there's some signage there with names of famous people that were sons and daughters of the Bronx. What we do is every year we induct people that we feel deserve recognition as they either were born in the Bronx or lived in the Bronx and have accomplished great things in their careers or on behalf of the community. So it begins next week with a press conference on Monday at the Mott Haven Bar and Grill. And then on Wednesday, we have a little event that we do to celebrate our sponsors and to thank them for their participation and their ongoing support for the series of events that go on. If you all don't know what Bronx Week is really, I always say that in the Bronx we're not really good at math. Bronx Week is actually 11 days of events. It's not necessarily a week. Probably in a few years it'll become a Bronx month. Sure. Yeah.
Only in the Bronx is a week more than 7.
That's right.
We're
That's
very
right.
good at math. But only in the Bronx can we get 10 days for
Into
only
1 week.
7, where everyone else has to have 7.
That's for sure. That's for sure. We have so much, we have to extend that week. So we begin next week. There's a number of activities that goes on. Some of them, and you will all receive by Monday, you will all receive calendar of events. You'll be able to go to ilovethebronx.com, and the publication, which is the calendar of events, will be online. So you'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see who our inductees are. We usually kind of keep that a secret until next week. So some might have some inkling as to who they are, but you'll find out for sure by the beginning of next week. So next week begins, we have on May 10th, Thursday, May 10th, we have a labor breakfast going on right here in the building. And that's in the morning and in the rotunda. This is where the labor unions all come together. They celebrate the work that the unions have done on behalf of the workers. And then that evening we have a centenary, in that afternoon, there's a centenarian celebration, and that's going to be happening at Villa Borough. And what that is that we celebrate the legacy of those that have reached 100 years old or just about reaching 100 years old, our centenarians, those folks that have been our leaders and the people whose shoulders we stand on. And the borough president will be there celebrating these folks. We have a bankers breakfast on Friday. That is where bankers come together, businesses come together. These are all lenders. These are all people who are responsible for the financing of many of the things that go on here in the Bronx and throughout the city, actually. There are a number of other events that go on. The ones I'm only going to mention are what we call the red events. The red events are the events that are either produced by the Bronx Tourism Council or BOEDC, the Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, or the Office of the Borough President. Those we call red events. Those events are events that are produced by this group. But there are other events that are produced by the community, and those such as yourselves and within your specific areas. So again, you want to know what those are. By Monday, we'll have the calendar of events up on the website for you to see. Saturday, May 12th, we're billing that day as Health Day. So there are two big events going on that day. One event is happening at Fordham Plaza, and that is Montefiore is putting together, the computer is talking to me. Montefiore is putting together a walk called Bein' Fit. And then we also have the Borough President's Initiative, Bronx Fathers Taking Action, is having an Olympiad. So this is going to be a series of activities, and thanks to the Parks Department, it will be happening at the Williams Bridge Oval, and families will come together to compete with one another, and at the end there's going to be medals and awards given to the winners. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's the initiative of Bronx Fathers Taking Action. So this is an initiative of the borough president to bring fathers and make dads more proactive in the lives of their family and their children. On Monday, May 14th, the Borough President's Office has a Veterans Appreciation Day. That will take place, I believe, at Maestro's, I believe, right? Yeah. Okay, so that event is there for us to celebrate, again, to celebrate our veterans and the sacrifices they've made for each and every one of us. There's also a senior event on Thursday, May 17th, and that too is happening down in this building, down in the Rotunda. I am told that that's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to have a magic show, so I think I might peek in and take part of those festivities. Then we have a family day celebrating parents and youth leaders. That too is happening in the rotunda of the building. And this is, again, dealing with or bringing together families that celebrate together. Again, there are a number of other activities going on throughout the course of that time. By the way, also, you'll see that there's a lot of Mother's Day activities happening. We don't do any events specifically for Mother's Day because we feel that's a day for everyone to be with their moms, and if you are a mom, to be with your family. But there are a lot of things going on at the New York Botanical Garden and at Wave Hill and in different other places throughout the Bronx where you can bring mom that day to celebrate her day. On the 19th is our annual Bronx Ball. That is the Black Tie Gala. It generally is celebrity studded, and that is where we have a big party to honor those that we're going to induct the next day. But this is our opportunity to come together and have fun in full gowns and tuxedos, and it's our day in the Bronx to dress up and party. It's the sort of the culmination of the celebration. But then the next day, we have a huge parade down Marshallou Parkway. And again, that is another opportunity to celebrate our inductees and all of our institutions that would be part of the procession, marching and celebrating pretty much the end of Bronx Week. And we say the end of Bronx Week officially, however, every week is Bronx Week in the Bronx, right? So, but it officially celebrates the end of Bronx Week with that parade. We also have, on the other side of Marshallou, so we close down both sides of the parkway. On the other side of Marshallou Parkway, we'll have a food and arts festival, and that would be with a lot of different booths where you can enjoy some food. There's going to be a bunch of our artisans. The Bronx Council on the Arts has partnered with us, and many artists are coming and selling their wares, whether it be photography or art or jewelry or other things of such nature. There'll be bouncy houses for the children. There'll be lots of fun activities going on. Simultaneously, on that same strip, we're going to have a concert. And usually the concerts go such as this. Early in the afternoon, we have local talent that will showcase their performances. And then we bring in bigger names that would cover R&B, hip-hop, as well as salsa or Latin music. So we try to cover all the bases there. And that's pretty much Bronx Week in a nutshell. I know there's a lot, and I see people taking notes. But remember, by Monday, you'll be able to go on to ilovethebronx.com, get a little bit more detail of what these events are, who we're honoring, and who the talent will be, and all that other great stuff. So I hope to see you all at some of these wonderful activities that we're having. Thank you.
Well, I just wanted to add, because I know, like you said, all of this information will be up on the website, which again is
ilovethebronx.com.
It's ilovethebronx.com. I mean, you love the Bronx, I love the Bronx.
We should change the URL to weallovethebronx.com.
Next year. Yes. ilovethebronx.com. But one of the things that I did want to highlight is the Fire Safety and Emergency Preparedness Day,
yes.
which is the 18th.
Yes.
And that event is going to be held at the Madison Square Boys and Girls Club. And all of the other details will be, of course, on the website. But that was one of the ones that I wanted to personally highlight due to some of the tragedies that we've unfortunately endured in the borough around fire safety and fire initiatives, and this is something that we especially this year, but always want to make sure that we're giving a lot of attention to being prepared and being aware of the do's and don'ts around fire safety. So I just want to open up to any questions. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I guess I should have a gavel. Thank you, everyone, for coming back together so quickly. We have in front of us Iris Rodriguez Rosa, and she is the Bronx Borough Commissioner of the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sitting with us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so you know how they ignore the guy behind the curtain, ignore the gentleman working on the technical side. Iris is going to begin speaking to us about what we can look forward to for the summer and what we can look forward to. I understand there's some great things coming down the pike.
Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
floor is
Thank you,
yours.
thank you. Good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Madam Deputy Borough President, for allowing me the opportunity. Once I saw you in early April, I always want to be able to have the opportunity to be in a forum such as this. Having been a former district manager myself, knowing that all the district managers also represent sort of like the mini mayors of their districts, the be-all, end-all, I like to make sure that I can share some of the information that we have in the Parks Department. I have, hopefully the presentation will come up and you'll be able to see some photographs because I think pictures, you know, as they say, pictures say 1,000 words to be able to share with that. But what I wanted to do, and I'll finish with a wonderful information on Orchard Beach, but what I wanted to share with you today is to tell you all things wonderful in the Parks Department. As you know, we deal with a lot of designs and capital projects, and I want to thank all the community boards for having been such supporters and working with us in terms of being able to do the scoping sessions, in terms of approving the designs of various parks. We will always continue to ask our elected officials to be supportive of many of the projects that are in their districts, to continue to be able to do that. So for me, it's a pleasure to be able to share with you some of the wonderful things that we had going on. Just to tell you, ribbon cuttings, as you know, many of you participate in many of the ribbon cuttings. We just had one yesterday. We also had some groundbreakings that we held. So I'm just going to mention it since it's not, I don't know, it's able to go? Hi, it's coming on. You do that? Terrific. Great, thank you. Oh, great, terrific. Great, so capital projects. So here, I just wanted to be able to share with you some of the many projects that we had going on during the course of last year and this year. We had some of the many ribbon cuttings that we had. Some of them you'll recognize. Some of those locations are within your districts. We had some ribbon cuttings and we had some groundbreakings. And of course, the groundbreakings will lead to the future ribbon cuttings. And as a matter of fact, yesterday we had a groundbreaking at Longfellow Gardens, which actually was a park that was closed for over 10 years. The children that were actually there in the park with us yesterday never saw that location ever opened. So for them to be there yesterday at the groundbreaking ceremony was absolutely phenomenal. And now, hopefully by the fall, which I think it's even going to be sooner than that because this contractor is phenomenal, we'll be able to have spray shower, play equipment for 2 to 5 year olds, a little amphitheater area, and this is in Community Board 2. So I'm just so excited and thrilled that we were able to see this come to fruition. So of course, when we have the ribbon cutting, and I welcome everyone to be able to participate, to be able to see this. And we also had a ribbon cutting. We had a ribbon cutting Community Board 1, which was actually Renaqua Park, which was on 136th Street by the Bruckner. It was wonderful. Many of the kids there from the Haven Academy participated. It's a synthetic field and playground equipment for children of all abilities. And I say not disabilities, but all abilities. So if you're able to go by and be able to see it, it's wonderful. And we have many more that will be coming up this coming year. I just wanted to share some of the photographs here, some of the photographs of the ribbon cuttings that we had, some of the photographs of the groundbreaking ceremonies that we had. It's a wonderful opportunity to share that. One of the best things that we enjoy at Grand Avenue Playground was absolutely phenomenal. You'll be able to see the pictures of the before of what the area looked like, and the kids were. It was a very, very hot day, and the kids were actually lined up all the way around the block, trying to get into these wonderful spray shower features that we have. So this is all about your community and your children. Community Board 2, we had Lions Square Park. It goes to show you the before pictures and then the after pictures. We had the ribbon cutting ceremony there March 20th, and we actually had many of the members of the Lions family, which the park was named after, to be there to be present to do that. The next thing I want to talk to you about, I want you all to know that it's not just about capital, it's not just about getting funding, but we also, in the Parks Department, in-house, we have such talent. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got carpenters, plumbers, electricians, masons, you name it, we have it. So here we talked about an in-house initiative. So this is Claremont Park. So some of you may recognize the gazebo. So the gazebo, we had individuals from our shops be able to restore the gazebo. So if you go down to Claremont Park, you'll be able to see that. Where's it go? Okay, so here, oops, let me go back. I think I can go, how do I go back? Okay, so Mapes Cool Pool. So I wanted you all to see that this is an initiative that we're doing for 2018. Mapes Pool. Who has Mapes Pool in their district? There you go. Mapes Pool, we wanted to do what they call a cool pool. So sometimes we find out from other cities what they do to try to enhance the experience in the pool. So this year what we're doing is we're actually creating a cool pool initiative at Mapes. You'll see that it's very colorful. This is only the beginning of what we're doing. I would invite you all to come and see actually what the final product is, because you'll have a lot of designs and a lot of amenities that'll be there. So I welcome you all to be able to participate. Here, Claremont Park, I just wanted to share with you again some of the initiatives that we did. Can you tell the difference now between the before and after? Isn't it remarkable? This is just, again, with in-house forces, being able to use our horticultural division to be able to do some of the many plantings. We were also able to initiate a barbecue area. Claremont Park never had a barbecue area, and we want the communities to be able to experience and have the opportunity to barbecue. So you see the gazebo, you see the landscaping, and you see the barbecue grills here as well. One of the other things that we also did, sometimes it's very difficult, and I'm going to say we're sort of in the quandary. Sometimes a project is not worthy, it does not have enough funding to be able to do a capital project, or it's not glitzy enough, or it's not, to be funded by an elected official or things like that. But it's also a little bit more than what we are supposed to be able to handle. We're supposed to get contracts. But here I happen to be very fortunate that I have a supervisor of mechanics that said a can-do attitude. So when you talk about DeVoe Park, okay, you have DeVoe Park in District 7. And DeVoe Park, if you can see the photographs of what was happening with the trees and the sidewalks, we were failing because we actually get inspected. The Parks Department has the Parks Inspection Program, and we get inspected and we can pass or fail. We were failing constantly for this, and we could not wait to be able to have money to be able to have a contract to do this work. So my in-house force is actually with all they could. You could see the before and after of what we were trying to do, and this also avoids people having trip hazards, okay? One of the other things that we also wanted to share with you in-house, that we do spring cleaning. We did 164 playgrounds already. We completed them. We would do intensive cleaning with power washing, soap and water, and trying to be able to bring those playgrounds up to par. In addition, I don't have a photograph, but we also, my SOM, which is the supervisor of mechanics, he's gone out to many, many playgrounds to be able to paint them, to give them a little bit of life, because sometimes they become dull and they become unattractive. So my supervisor of mechanics says, I'm going to do as many as I can. So he's done over 30 of them to Now, also, Community Board 8, we're also looking to be able, in-house, to be able to create a garden atmosphere out in 261st Street and Broadway. So we're in the process of being able to do that. Okay, 261st Street. So this will be the location where we'll have an in-house garden. Some of the other things that we do, ladies and gentlemen, of course, Bronx Recreation. How many of you have dealt with recreation in the Parks Department? Okay, one way or the other, you've dealt with it. We have many opportunities in recreation that we come out to the communities and to the parks to be able to do that. We offer organized activities free and open to the public, and we have the Playmobiles, we have fitness mobiles, we have summer day camps. So I just wanted to share with you also movie nights. How many of you have known about the movie nights that we have? Okay, so we have to say, this is something that started a few years ago, and it keeps on growing. These are some of quickly, I'll go through the administrative parks. These are the parks that have administrators. So Van Cortlandt Park, we have events that go on in Van Cortlandt Park. And I have actually here for you to take some of the calendar that'll be for the rest of the summer, so you'll be able to take that. These are the other activities that we have going on. The Puppet Mobile, pony rides, learn to play tennis. Again, how many of you really look at all the many things, and we want you to be able to share these things with your communities and your board members. Bronx River Alliance. How many of you have really gone to the flotilla? Have traveled the flotilla? You all overdue, okay? I know May 19th, I know it's a Bronx Ball, but just so for those of you that are not going to the Bronx Ball, you can go canoe down the river in the flotilla. Everybody's going to the Bronx Ball, all right, okay. Okay, we'll change the date. We'll make sure we're coordinated and change the date. Again, if you can see the Bronx River Flotilla, if you see there, and then we also we're trying to environmentally think about the Parks Department. We try to be environmentally conscious, and the Bronx River would not be the Bronx River had not the Bronx River Alliance been in existence. And they work very hard to try to clean up that river and make sure that it's good. We just last year for the first time, and this year again, we introduced the herring, the allied herring into the river, because they used to exist and they used to spawn in the Bronx River, but because of all the development, we lost them. They didn't come back. So we're trying to reintroduce them again for a 5-year period to see if they come back and spawn and be able to habitat the Bronx River. So very excited. They were beautiful. I mean, it was a wonderful experience. Crotona Park. I think we have a district manager here that's very familiar with Crotona Park. So we're also going under construction in terms of the nature center that's coming up this year. So it's going into construction right now. So we had a wonderful, the pool, which is the largest pool that we have in the borough. We have tennis programs that go on there. So just to know that. Also, with the administrator, we're also pruning 90% of the trees in Crotona Park will be pruned, which is unheard of, really. So this is wonderful opportunity to be able to continue the health of the trees. So just wanted to share that. Pelham Bay Park, I think that's another district manager in this room is very familiar with that one. Pelham Bay Park, we have many activities that we actually do there. We do many of them with the Rangers. We have the annual Native American Festival, so we also want you to be able to know that. We talk about Pelham Bay Park, we have to talk about Orchard Beach, right? So here at Orchard Beach, we have Orchard Beach where we have the Bronx Riviera, of course, where we have over 1 million, we have 1 million individuals that actually come throughout the summer to this beach. It's the only man-made beach. All the other beaches are natural beaches, but this is the only man-made beach. I have to tell you something that's really funny with the nor'easters that we had. I got to tell you, I wish I could show you the picture. We had a lot of the sand ended up on the boardwalk. It was like a mountain of sand. It must have been like, how tall? About 15 feet tall or so. That was that high it blew onto the promenade. We had to take it back and put it back on the beach where it belonged. But these are the many activities that you'll see. We've increased since I've become commissioner in the borough. I want to do more programming at the beach, so we've increased the beach, and we thank the Friends of Pelham Bay Park for also being very supportive of everything that's there. Now we talk about Bronx Park enforcement, and I have with us, of course, Captain Adusi, who's here with me. He just started in January with us here in the Bronx, and we welcome him, and he's hit the ground running. So Captain Adusi is familiar and will become intimately familiar with all the different concerns that we have in the borough. So we wanted to share with you some of the activities that have taken place, the noise complaints. the dog issues, barbecue issues, because of course, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot have barbecue areas in every single park. As commissioner, I've wanted to increase some of the areas or to do that. I believe I've also done Soundview Park now as well, Community Board 9. We also put some barbecue grills a few weeks ago in Soundview Park. So we did Claremont Park and we did Soundview Park. So every year we're trying to increase a location so that the community will be able to benefit from that. So, but there are many, as you know, many locations like the Crotona malls and other areas that we have individuals, DeVoe Park and other places where people are just barbecuing. And we try not to have it anywhere near a playground, anywhere where children can, because people may put the coals or whatever, and I know that the fire department would agree with us, and we just have to make sure. I'll make something, and we'll go back to the security in terms of, for the questions, in terms of the security questions, in terms of the Parks Department. Urban Park Rangers, just to give you a couple of the many things that they do. They do environmental things, and I think it's important for us to be able to share with the children many of the environmental needs that we have. So I just wanted to share that with you. Partnership for Parks. How many of you have dealt with Partnership for Parks? So understand that they deal with hundreds of groups to be able to come out and volunteer. There's corporate groups, there are community groups, there are groups that come out once a month, there are community groups that come out maybe once a year, but nonetheless, we try to engage everyone. And in every park, I ask you all to help us be able to engage people to become stewards of parks and to be able to help us with the parks. So it's my park day. We had some activities going on. So you could tell right here, this was at Wallace Avenue and Pelham Parkway. Can you tell the difference of what a community group was able to do? So this was a barren area, and they were actually able to plant it and be able to put information as it pertains to parks and the community. So this goes to show you what the community can do. Now we talk about all things Orchard Beach Pavilion, okay? This is exactly something that is very near and dear to all of us, and especially your borough president. And I have to say that I've been in the Bronx. I was in the Bronx from 1992 to 2006 and then went to Queens. And I also had attended Orchard Beach, and I never saw anyone actually take an interest or take a desire to even think about investing in this wonderful jewel that we have here in the borough of the Bronx. And I have to say that I started in June of 2015, and then that summer, your borough president said to me, Iris, we need to do something. I need to do something. Tell me what it is that we can do to try to get something going over here. So we presented a master plan. Many of you may have seen it and were part of it in terms of that. But he, surprisingly, in February of 2016, a few months later, said, I'm committing the first $10 million to this project, and challenged everyone else, all the other elected officials and the city, to be able to come in on it. And it's amazing, because this is something that I know is going to it's just phenomenal. I have no words for it. So I just wanted to share with you that as of 2015, the pavilion structurally stable, overall condition, fair to good. So this building actually was deemed in 2009, was deemed a landmark. So as landmarks go, we need to try to preserve our historical structures. So you can see also some of the work that is needed, because when it was built, there was not the new technology that they have in terms of concrete. So now we will be providing that in this structure. So here is the breakdown of the funding that was received, starting with, of course, your borough president, and then the mayor, the city council, and then the state grants that we have. So right now we have over $60 million towards the project and the pavilion. And of course, it's that much money because it's been that long that this particular structure has not been attended to. So it's a lot of money. And this particular project, of course, will do the restoration of the north and south loggias of the pavilion. It will be ADA compliant, because for the first time from the front of the building, you'll be able to access it through the front of the building without having people that have special needs to go around. So this will be absolutely phenomenal. Areas for additional for new elevators, for public restrooms, electrical transformers, basic fit outs. So this is just to share with you, this is my final slide, but I just wanted to be able to leave you with the message and the thought and the vision of what your borough president and what we at the Parks Department have embraced beautifully. And just to tell you that we had a meeting April 3rd, was it April 3rd, with the borough president to go over the project. And believe it or not, on April 18th, there were some interested parties, like 27 different architectural agencies actually came out. 27, that's phenomenal. They came out to actually look at the site because we're expecting them to bid or to put a proposal in for the project. So it's creating some steam, it's moving and forging ahead, and this is all things Orchard Beach Pavilion.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to hear about the overall summer plans, but especially what's going on at Orchard Beach. And just to be clear, with all of these things that are going on, the beach will not be closed, right?
Absolutely.
We'll still be able to enjoy the beach throughout the summers, even as all those things are going on, so that's exciting. And it will be ADA compliant, which is also exciting. I wonder if you're able to speak a little bit about jobs and summer positions coming up for maybe Bronxites and youth.
Okay, so now it's actually May 2nd today. So pretty much a lot of the positions have been filled for the most part. But we also continue to take resumes because you never know if some of the people drop out. But let me tell you about the different positions at the Parks Department. First and foremost, for our beaches and pools, we have lifeguards. So we have actually over citywide. I have to find out exactly what the borough of the Bronx has, but I know that citywide we have about 1,400 lifeguards. So these are 16 years or older that can participate and be trained. We also have learn to swim programs, so that way if there are individuals that can learn to swim and then in the future become future lifeguards, it's wonderful. I believe we have over 100 in the borough of the Bronx alone between the pools and the beaches to do that. So that's one position. Another one is what we call playground associates. As you'll receive in the packages that you have before you, we have what we call the Kids in Motion sites, the CPI sites. These are actually playground associate sites where we have 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday. We have playground associates that actually do recreational programming. Those are opportunities as well for people to apply for. And then we have summer camps. Our summer camps are about $500 for the entire summer, and we invite people to apply to become counselors during the summer camp. The Rangers have also positions that they have, sort of intern positions during the summer. So again, there are many opportunities to be able to engage in the Parks Department on various activities. And also, if there are people that are tennis savvy, we also have the City Parks Foundation has also different positions within. So the City Parks Foundation, if you look at their website, they have various positions as well for tennis instructors, track instructors, and many of the other sports as well.
You can find all of this on the website.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Questions?
No, don't leave me hanging. I know you all got questions. You all call me,
Okay. Mr. Lofton.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
First of all, thank you for coming to our meeting at St. Mary's about the program.
Yes.
And also bringing emphasis related to the arts program in our district. We've been working with you related to the old PS31 site.
The what?
And then the old PS31 site in Garrison Playground.
Yes.
And I've had conversations with Dr. Nard Tyson of trying to introduce a whole theme of science in that park. One of them, our president as well, design for Garrison, still in sync related to trying to come up with a theme for science and technology in that park.
When it comes to, we had proposed already the design, so the design has already been sort of, in quite some time. So we had mentioned in terms of the science, so I can bring it up and show you what the current design is. So I'll be more than happy to go back to the office and send you what the design is. When it comes to science and technology, what we can do is actually do some activities and programming surrounding that as well in the park. So we can talk about that as well. Okay.
Mr. Brown.
I don't know right now if in the list you have any parks that are in your district that are adjacent or near any kind of the shelters that you speak of, but we can always do some special activities with our Playmobil units, with our fitness mobile units, if there's something that you want to have that we can coordinate with the shelter itself to be able to have an activity in a nearby park. So we can always create an activity or an event surrounding that as well, if there's not a playground associate there. So our office, our recreation office, that you can call our office, you can call 430-1801, that's my office, and we'll connect you to the recreation office, and they can coordinate having a play unit or an activity unit and surrounding an activity you want to have there.
Mr. Torres.
So, first and foremost, congratulations on the newest addition to your family.
Oh, yes, you saw that. Thank you.
And thank you for being very accessible. I've been a district manager for 2.5 years now. You guys have always been very responsive to the needs of our community board, so I want to say thank you for that. District budget consultation, OMB sent all of us emails in regards to doing stuff specifically for the district, so I want to thank you for inviting us every year to your office to sit down. I will definitely try and get more board members to come to this meeting, even if I need to rent the bus, but thank you for that.
And I just want to say, just touching on that, one of the things that I started last year that I want to continue is that I want to be able to have Captain Adusi, have the Rangers, have our operations people at the meeting, so when we meet with you individually, you get to actually see the individuals that actually provide the services to your community. So this is a new venture that we're doing, and you spurned it, and you started from the very beginning, wanting us to be more communicative.
I have a question about dogs in the park, outside of dog walks and the type. What is the exact regulation in terms of leashing? Is there anything information?
So I'll have Captain Adusi help me out with this, but my understanding is never in a playground where there's children. So their dogs are not allowed. In a park that they're allowed, and correct me if I'm wrong, Captain, it's 9 to 9?
Yes, that's correct. And also,
You have to take the mic.
If you don't have a mic, you can't be heard, so, or not as well.
good morning, everybody.
Morning.
All right. So the rule is from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. we allow dogs to be off the leash. But if it's a dog run, if it's a park with a dog run, then they can't be off the leash anytime. So that's the courtesy that we grant people. From 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. without a dog run, they could be off the leash. Not in the playground like the commissioner said, but those are the rules.
Okay. Ms. Bravo?
You got to take the mic.
Yeah.
DeVoe Park, I know you've received a lot of noise complaints from there. So what's gonna happen with enforcement? I know you guys are raising the fence around DeVoe Park, am I right? So we also have a lot of barbecues that happen there. Fordham Hill's right next to it. So what are you guys working on to kind of alleviate that?
So with DeVoe Park, like you said, the amplified sound and also the barbecue conditions. So once we get the complaints, then we'll send enforcement officers over to regulate and correct the condition. But I've been working with the commissioner, and those is one of our concerns, and we've been addressing DeVoe Park.
Now, in terms of enforcement across the borough, I know you have specific parks that receive more complaints than others. Are you guys going to make routine visits around these specific parks?
We have specific location, what we call hotspots that we have. DeVoe Park, we've met consistently with the Fordham Hill Cooperative and with the community board regarding DeVoe Park last year. We will continue the same efforts that we did last year. This year, we will work with the police precinct as well to continue that. We're expecting that the council member Cabrera had also requested, and we funded
gates, because we have fencing, there's fencing, but there was no gates to be able to close the park. So PD asked for there to be gates so they can enforce it as well. So we will continue to do that with DeVoe Park. We have other hotspots, Ferry Point Park, the Crotona Malls. We have other hotspots that we're working on as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We're excited about all the things that are going on in parks, and we're excited to see what's coming new. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I know we got some new folks that came in. So I want to just make sure that we open up. Let's see if there are any announcements according to the agenda. If you have any upcoming events or announcements, this is the time to let us know. Just say your name and I'm gonna say just stand up and make a line. Well, okay, there's not that many. So just come up to the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kajuri Chaudhary from the New York City Commission on Human Rights. I wanted to make two announcements. One is on May 10th, we, in partnership with the African Advisory Council of the Borough President's Office, other city agencies, we are hosting our second annual African Communities Forum and Resource Fair. It is also a part of the Bronx Week celebrations, and it is being held at Monroe College, Thursday, May 10th, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. The goal of it is to engage newly immigrant African communities here in the Bronx and create the bridge between services that city agencies offer and the communities. That's one announcement. And the second one is really brief. I'll have more information later. Recently, the City Council signed off on the New York City the Stop Sexual Harassment in New York City Act, and there will be changes and amendments in the New York City human rights law. So we will have more information as we go further, and maybe we can do a presentation once we have more information on it. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Erica Downing from the New York City Department of Health. So I've already mentioned it in all the community boards along with the elected officials, but we do have two events coming up. The first one is actually this Sunday, May 6th. It's in Crotona Park. It's a vaccination event for dogs and cats. So we're partnering with ASPCA. ASPCA will be giving distemperament vaccines, and our animal control unit will be giving rabies vaccines. It's completely free. It's a great event for our seniors or anybody who can't afford to take their pets to the vet. It's from 1 to 4 at Crotona Park. If you need the flyers, let me know. I can forward it once more. And then we have our food and safety workshop event for all restaurant owners in the Bronx. It's going to be at Hostess Community College on June 13th. It was a huge turnout last year. We're expecting a bigger turnout now. Our inspectors will be there, and we're partnering with other city agencies to kind of go over the inspection process, what a notice of violation is for business owners. So if you have any questions in reference to that, please let me know. I have the flyers. It's currently being translated in other languages, so please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Brian Pargnoli, New York City Emergency Management. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. We have a few updates. Summer's approaching. It's a busy season for us. I know the community boards and the BP's office do a lot of events outside. If you'd like us to table an event or do a presentation for your board, please let us know 3 weeks in advance, and we will do our best to accommodate that. As the Deputy Borough President noted, we are doing a event in partnership with the FDNY, and thank you, Marisol, for all of your help with helping to get that put together. We're going to be focusing on preparedness and fire safety. There will be a resource fair component of the event at the Madison Square Boys and Girls Club at 543 East 189th Street. That will be open to the public, and we'll also be featuring 2 trainings, CPR training and fire and emergency preparedness training that we're going to be asking people to sign up for via a link that we're going to be sending out shortly. And we're also highlighting our Know Your Zone campaign with hurricane season approaching. We want everyone to be aware if they're in a hurricane evacuation zone. And that information can be found at nyc.gov/knowyourzone or by calling 311. And as always, please sign up for Notify NYC. It's the best way to get information related to emergencies near where you live and work and pray and everything else. So as always, please reach out to intergov at oem.nyc.gov with any questions, and we're always happy to answer anything. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other announcements to managers? No? No? Thank you so much. That is the end. Fin.
We are together. And for the last 20 years, we have been building on a vision to share our views, our voices on our channels. We are the Bronx. We are Bronxnet.
Well, I got this as a paid internship. Spending my time here, I really enjoyed the people that work here. I enjoy what goes on behind the scenes.
So far, I've learned how to operate a camera, how to host. I learned how to control audio.
My first time hosting was really nerve-wracking, but I really enjoyed it because it was a new experience.
Coming to you from our Bronxnet studios, 4 new shows highlighting some of the best of the Bronx has to offer. We sit down with political leaders on in the district and discuss local legislation, events, and issues. See how the community and business come together with The Bronx Now on Bronxnet. Nosotros features leaders from a Latino community. Meet those who are moving to make a difference in public service, business, arts, and culture. Looking for new and exciting dining experiences? Then you'll want to savor the Bronx and try new restaurants and eateries that fill the borough with delicious dishes. We have it all, so experience the Bronx in new and fresh ways on Bronxnet.
From the north to the south to the west to the east, we are expanding our services and upgrading technology at Lehman College. And now, Bronxites have an innovative media production facility in the East Bronx at Mercy College in the Hutch Metro Center. The windows on the East Bronx studio, a state-of-the-art control room, media labs for production and training, and other media-capable spaces. Training, workforce development, leading-edge technology, and programs that help you share your ideas, your voice, on your channels, locally and globally. Build media and technology skills at Bronxnet, and build your dreams.
North of Manhattan and west of the Sound, that's where you'll find me hanging around. You can keep Chelsea and Sutton and the Great White Way. The Bronx is where I wanna stay. From Fordham Road to City Isle, the folks all greet you with a smile, strolling up the concourse on a summer's day. We'll tell you why I'll never stray. 4th of July, out at Orchard Beach, neath the summer sky of blue. Sunday afternoon, going through the zoo. And don't forget, we've got the Yankees too. So now you know never roam far from the place that I call home. You'll never find a better place to be. Yes, the Bronx is all right.